All right, let's do this. A truly disturbing article on libs@tiktok.com today. Kindergartners taught that white people make it harder for black people. Yep. Kindergartners. It's 5 years old. Yeah, they're teaching racial division to small children. This is not unity. This is not an education. This is indoctrination. That's what this is. Let's just read the article. St. Andrew's Episcopal School. It's a private school, a posh private school in Austin. Of course it is. Has faced backlash from parents over a lesson plan for kindergartners that appears to teach CRT and other woke ideas. Tuition for kindergartners for 5-year-olds costs a hefty $26,870 a year. Notably, the two daughters of President George W. Bush attended middle school at St. Andrews. Despite the steep price tag, parents are still struggling to maintain authority over what is being taught to their children in this school. Look, just take this as a lesson. It can happen anywhere, even at a private school, even at supposedly Christian private school. They hire teachers in. You don't know where those teachers are coming from. They obviously don't have any rules at this school. They obviously don't have good control at this school. And the parents just need to vote with their dollars. Let's read this. This just boggles my mind. It's absolutely ridiculous. One parent spoke to Libs of TikTok after they were sent a photo of the lesson plan that allegedly taught 5-year-olds about the horrors of white people. Good morning, sunflowers. Today is March 2022. So this was in this year. It was in this last school year. Let's keep talking about freedom. Are there some people that have more freedom? Let's share our thoughts. First thought, New York has more freedom to vote than Texas. Okay. 2, black people have less and white people have more. More money means more freedom. No, more money means people buy privilege. That's usually what it means. And you understand, like, money isn't restricted to only white people. There are very successful and wealthy progressives, and they're the ones that push it like this. Let's see. Whites boss people of color around. Where are they getting this? And then it says something threatening body language. 6. I missed 4. Whites make it harder. That's just it. Whites make it harder. Everything is more difficult with white people around. You know what? The teachers who taught this are probably 2 white Karens. And so maybe I agree with that one. White Karens do make it harder. They make it harder for you to teach your children important things rather than just indoctrinate them. That is a problem of white Karens specifically. Well, actually all Karens, but most Karens are going to be white suburban Democrat women. And you know that that's the truth. I'm not saying there's not conservative Karens, but the concerned parent said they also recently discovered the book It Feels Good to Be Yourself, which was read to the kindergarten class. This book is about gender identity and non-binary people. Again, these are 5-year-olds. At this point, this is indoctrination. You know, these same people will turn around and talk all the time about how teaching any kind of religion to a child, to especially young children who can't, discern the truth, who are easily influenced, is indoctrination. And then they want to turn around and teach things like this to young children at an age when it's just not appropriate for them. And you got to ask why? Why are they doing this? And it's because they're trying to indoctrinate. The book is about gender identity and non-binary people. What's a baby's body looks like when they're born can be a clue to what the baby's gender will be, but not always. Actually, pretty much always. The body parts that you're born with are a good indication of the gender that you are. Now, you can be XY, you can be XX, or you can be, baby, you could be like hermaphroditic. where you have both body parts, and you can be. I got to think of the other one. Okay, there's this one, which is XYY syndrome, which is also known as Jacob syndrome. This is an aneuploid genetic condition in which a male has an extra Y chromosome. Usually there are a few symptoms. These may include being taller than average, acne, and an increased risk of learning disability. This is some sort of non-disjunction with that extra chromosome. And interestingly enough, there's another thing, which is also Klinefelter syndrome, which is a rare genetic condition in which AMABs are born with an extra X. What is an AMAB? Now I have to look that up. This better not be some weird woke shit. Well, according to the Urban Dictionary, all men are bastards is what AMAB stands for. So, okay, this is assigned males at birth. All right, that's what it means. In reality, so look, Curtis herself has long been followed by rumors and claims that the actress was born intersex or with Klinefelter syndrome, a rare genetic condition in which assigned males at birth are born with an extra X chromosome. In reality, Curtis has never spoken about what is, at the end of the day, entirely her own business. Yeah, I agree. Who knows, right? But, at some point she obviously chose to be a woman. And look, it doesn't bother me what people choose to be. What bothers me is that this is not a reality that is appropriate to teach to a child who's 5 years old, right? A child who's 5 years old doesn't know or understand this. If they have extra body parts, or if they have some sort of syndrome, if they have an extra Y chromosome or an extra X chromosome, they don't know it. Sometimes the parents might not even know it. If they don't know about it, I'm just going to say, like, this is probably not the time to have the conversation with them about it. Now, when they get older, then people who do have Jacob syndrome or people who do have Klinefelter syndrome obviously need somebody to have a discussion with them about it, and whatever the side effects are. That's probably going to be their parents if they know, or a doctor, maybe like a family doctor. That seems like the appropriate person to have this conversation. Somebody who's a professional, not a fucking book that tries to teach a 5-year-old, not even teach, that tries to indoctrinate and confuse 5-year-olds into questioning their gender, or even trying to get them to adopt some kind of sexual identity when they are not even sexual beings yet. They are prepubescent. This should not be a discussion. That's it. That's all there is to it. Prepubescent kids should not be having discussions about this. I mean, maybe when they get close to it, kids, like we covered this. The first time we covered this, I remember this would have been like in 6th or 7th grade. Not kindergarten, right? That's when we first started covering the birds and the bees kinds of stuff, and gender and things to do with puberty, because they knew, hey, these kids are getting to be, 11 and 12 years old. They're getting ready to go through puberty, or some have started already. That's an appropriate time. That seems logical. Anyways. Parents voiced concern to the school about the lesson plans, but reportedly dismissed. One parent told Libs of TikTok, when parents confront them like I did, they will first say it was an oversight, and if you keep asking too many questions, they will tell you that you're an extremist. You are not an extremist. You have every right to control what your children learn, all right? Especially when it's not just like the basic fundamentals. You have the right to control these kind of things that they're exposed to, all right? These teachers who want to teach things, who want to indoctrinate children into hating America, indoctrinate children into gender identity and identity politics at 5 years old. That's what they want to do. This is bullshit. Absolute bullshit. The parent continued, when I asked my kindergartner, how often do they talk about topics like this one in the picture? He said, every day. Look, this is just flat out proof, all right? Indoctrination is happening. This is CRT. When we talk about CRT, this is what we're fucking talking about. This is a part of CRT. So look, people, pay attention to what your children are learning. Ask questions about what they learned in school. And if you ever find something like this, don't let go of it. Absolutely don't let go of it. This parent did the right thing by bringing this to a public forum so that they could gain attention. And they probably could not have posted it on Twitter because they would have got shouted down, or Twitter would have just outright fucking banned them, because you can't even say the G rumor name anymore. The people who all can congregate in room G and do the G rumor stuff, you can't say that word anymore. And you probably can't even say it on the YouTube platform anymore. So just realize that control of language is coming, control of thoughts. They're trying to pull it off. These companies are trying to pull it off. They're trying to change the definitions of stuff. They're always doing that shit too. It's all a concerted effort, you know, it really is. And CRT is a real thing, and it's real indoctrination, and it's really harmful, and it's really not appropriate for anyone, but it's especially things like this are not appropriate. The sexual identity and gender identity stuff is not appropriate for prepubescent children, for little kids, right? Maybe kids at the 6th or 7th grade level, then fine. It's time to start having those conversations. But honestly, adults should be having them, and then, you know, they can have this education in school, but, you know, adults should have the right to opt their kids out if they don't want them be exposed to stuff like this. That's my thoughts. Again, the narrative, there's no such thing as CRT. The narrative, oh, CRT is just history. This is not fucking history right here. This is nothing to do with fucking history. That's bullshit. That is a bullshit narrative. This is indoctrination. CRT is clearly indoctrination. CRT and gender identity politics, they're trying to indoctrinate little children to confuse them because, again, it's just like they said, oh yeah, they're easily influenced. They're easily influenced, so we're trying to get to them young, right? We're trying to confuse them young so that in the future world, everybody is an alphabet letter kid. That's what this is really all about. Tell me what you think. What do you think below? Personally, I think that these parents should all pull their kids out of this school and send them to a public school or another private school, because hell, a public school's got to be better than this. Be selective, be careful, and do your research, but geez, like when your private school is teaching this shit, you know, maybe public school's not so bad after all. And, you know, just be careful and talk to students and teachers, not even teachers, but students and parents. Don't talk to the teachers. Talk to the parents that send their kids to public school and find out what the kids are being taught. Find out what they're learning. That's what you need to be doing. All right. I'm telling you, we got to stay on top of this. We got to stay on top of this because this is all a part of the narrative that I'm talking about. This is all the stuff that they're pushing. If you want to keep smashing the narrative, then smash the like and smash the subscribe button, because we are just getting started. We are going to cover all of this. See you on the next video.